This video is dedicated to the late David Wiseman. David was the best dad, granddad, husband, stepdad, brother and uncle that anyone could ask for. He was a frequent and popular figure at the Gills and the old social club who was loved by everyone. May his unbridled Gillingham support and member of our Gills family live long in our memories. Welcome to German Gills. Gills head up north today to take on a strong Mansfield town this afternoon. Your German Gills show will bring you a live match reaction today from your host, Reese. Luke's been busy on the ME7 live podcast recently, but he hasn't forgotten about us and his Luke's 11. German Gills has come in live from Duisburg, Germany to see if we can take anything away from Fieldmill, Schön, dass du da bist und los geht's Gills! Welcome to the German Gills show as Gillingham head up north to take on Mansfield Town this afternoon. They have two returning players to Mansfield in Ollie Hawkins and George Lapsley, so it'll be an interesting contest to see them play against their old side. Kick-off in the UK is at 3 o'clock, but over here in Germany it's 4 o'clock, and it's really great to have you here on this German Gills show. I'm going to be your host, Reese, to take you through every step of today's game. And if you would like to follow our socials, you can do so on Twitter. We are at Deutsche Gills, and of course we're on Instagram, which is German Gills. If you would like to go straight to the live match reaction, use the chat box at the bottom of the video to navigate around. So now it's time for Luke's 11. He's been very busy over the last few weeks. He's been on the live ME7 podcast. If you haven't seen that already, go and take a look. It's a really good live episode, and I'll leave a link to their Twitter in the description. But he's on the German Gills show today, giving his prediction for the lineup against Mansfield Town this afternoon.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Luke's 11. Today, an away trip to Fieldmill. The Gills unbeaten in 4 and taking a respectable 10 points from 12. Currently, us Gills fans have a lot to be optimistic about. Today is a tough test with the Stags on the hunt to cement their place within the places. I'm predicting the Gills to spoil that party somewhat. One injury to a certain League 2 January signing of the window means there should be a change in formation today. However, I feel that he will still make the bench, and that gives ample opportunity to a certain ex-Stags player who I've been cheering to make the starting 11 since he signed, to really make a stamp on this team. Let's get to it then. Today I'm predicting a 4-5-1. Glenn Morris in goal, Robbie McKenzie and a centre-back pairing of Amar and Masterson. David Tutunda to continue at left back, and a midfield 5 of Williams, Diang, McDonald, Jeffries, and finally a chance for my man George Lapsley to really show what he can do. In my opinion, he is League 2's best player, and somewhat can probably say that within League 1 as well. He's going to be able to show us what he can do. He's going to be able to show that real quality that we saw in the first fixture last year, and let's hope he owes us a goal with that god-awful celebration that he did against the Rainiers last year. That leaves a lone striker of Ollie Hawkins up top today, and that's it. A score prediction, I think today will be a 1-1 draw. Los geht's Gills.
Adam Westgate isn't heading up to Fieldmill this afternoon, so we won't have our live matchday correspondence for the German Gills video. However, 2 people have already reached out using the new German Gills WhatsApp. The link to that is in the description, by the way. And we've got 2 people, and one of them is Mike. He's been very optimistic, and he's going for a 2-0 Gills win, say, with Hawkins getting on the score sheet and scoring against his former employers. And also we have Loon Potter, who you might have seen on Twitter. Actually, he has a big presence, but he's going on the other way. He thinks Gillingham are going to lose today. He's not trying to be negative. He's probably trying to be more realistic, because he says Mansfield have actually covered well since the loss of Hawkins and Lapsley, and he'll also be disappointed if Nichols isn't in the squad stake. Obviously, we're not sure if he's injured or not. If he'll be on the bench, we're not quite sure. Obviously, we hope he's there and thereabouts, because he says Nichols, he's been the 5-bar prism in the box of multi-strength searchlights for him. So that's a really nice way to describe it, Loon Potter. Thank you very much for your messages, all to the German Gills show via our new WhatsApp. Let's head over to Fieldmill for today's live match reaction. Los geht's Gills! So we're about to get underway here at Field Mill, or the One Call Stadium, and I just want to give one shout out as the game begins to, and it is Jackson. It is his 7th birthday today, and he's at the game today. He's at Mansfield. Long trip up for him and his brother as well, Lennon. I hope you enjoy the game today, and both their father contacted me via the WhatsApp, which is as you can see, the link is down below in the description. Happy birthday to you, Jackson, and hopefully we can bring back 3 points to make that journey home all that more sweeter. So Mansfield got a free kick on this right-hand side. It's like a corner essentially. It goes into the box and heads towards the goal, and it's headed away by Tutonda in the end. That's the first meaningful chance of the game, really. And it was a free kick, and Tutonda got a yellow card, actually, for giving the free kick away. And it's the first real attempt on goal from any team, really. And Mansfield have the first attempt. It's a good header, and I think Morris has that, but Tutonda just got in the way of Morris and managed to head it wide. And Mansfield do have a corner on this left-hand side that's going to be whipped in now to the back post, and eventually will hopefully head the way it seemed to go through everyone as Mansfield still try and keep this attack alive as they go to the edge of the box. And eventually Gills should be able to clear their lines. They haven't done so yet. This is a real attack at the moment from Mansfield, and it's got everyone off their seats as they go out again to the right-hand side. Just Mansfield have been pretty much on top the last sort of 5 minutes, and it looks like the attack is still going to continue to go down to the right-hand side. It's quite a long one, this one, because Mansfield are really in the ascendancy now. They're going to shoot from this, and it's deflected, and it goes in the back of the net. And unfortunately for Gillingham, there's a deflection that has just caused the goalkeeper, I think, to dive the wrong way, but Mansfield have taken advantage of their ascendancy the last few minutes. And you know what? I think it's been relatively even game so far, and it's always going to fall one way at some point, and it's just going to show that Gillingham, even though we have bolstered our quality, are really up against it now against a strong Mansfield team. The good thing about this goal is that Mansfield kept the pressure up. They kept the pressure up, and what did the Gills not do? Clear their lines early enough, and unfortunately, it's just a deflected shot in the end that goes in the back of the net. I mean, if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle. But yeah, Mansfield have gone 1-0 up, and on the balance of play, I'd say, well, it was 50-50 in my opinion. It was the first real one of the game so far. But as it currently stands, Mansfield 1, Gillingham 0, and it's just after 21 minutes. And Mansfield coming down, they got a bit of centre. That's a good bit of work, actually, to get the ball to the left-hand side. They've done well, actually, to get it over there. Good little bit of pass and link-up play as they got ahead towards goal, and it just goes miles wide, actually. I just want to say, used opportunity. Since Mansfield have scored, it pretty much has been all Mansfield. They've really taken the initiative to try and double their lead, and moves like this are showing what quality they have, and the good work they're putting together to try and double their advantage. They're showing that it's a real tough challenge for the Gills at the moment, and we just haven't come out the blocks at all in the slight. It's not happened. We need a bit of a change of play to be able to break this Mansfield team down. And just want to say one extra thing as well. A couple of texts are coming through saying they're really happy to see that Nichols and Hawkins are starting, and that you have this double at the back of Amer and Masterson as well. It's a really strong lineup for the Gills, and you know, a couple of months ago this would be a terrible match to play against. But as we go forward now, it's gone to Nichols, but it's headed away unfortunately by Mansfield. But the chance is still alive. If Hawkins have picked it up, it's going to be a shot from distance. And Mackenzie's missed it entirely. But yeah, a lot of people are saying they like this lineup, and that's why Harris is stuck with it. But unfortunately, Gills are still 1-0 down currently, and not looking likely to score at the moment, unfortunately. Mansfield the ball on his left-hand side, looking to break through again. It's a great ball into the box. Aiming needs to be careful here, and he has given a penalty. It's a little bit harsh. Is it harsh? I don't know. I need to see that one again. But they've been pulling at each other's shirts, and Max Hamer's got the yellow card. It's a funny one, isn't it? And we always say this with referees. We always say, like, you know, if the player doesn't go down, it's unlikely the referee gives a penalty. It's a great example of the referee not doing that. It didn't go down number 7 for Mansfield, but the referee still gave the penalty for the pull on the shirt, I would assume. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Max is taking, 60% of his shirt, but it's a funny one. I reckon only about 20% of refs will give that one, and unfortunately for Gills, that one has given it today. That'll be a contentious one to talk about after, but that'll be a very opinionated penalty, a foul to discuss, but unfortunately it's fallen against Gillingham, and it looks like Mansfield are going to double their advantage. So here comes the penalty taker. It's actually when I was fouled, actually. who's going to be taking it, runs up, and it is put in the back of the net, and Morris did dive the right way, but it was too powerful for him to get across and parry it wide, and Mansfield have doubled their advantage, and some would argue fortuitously, and some would argue not. Depends what team you're supported, I suppose, in this fixture, but as it currently stands, the most important thing is that Mansfield are 2-0 up against the Gills, and they've got a mountain to climb for the second half. Mansfield are excellently well to get the ball forward. Gills are really trying to scramble back to get into position defensively. There's a lot of space for Mansfield to take a shot on goal. They do, and it's on target, but it's gathered by Morris, and there's an injury, I think, for Mansfield down there as well. Unfortunately, they have a lot of injuries at Mansfield, and even with all their injuries, they're still managing to be all over Gillingham in this half. Gillingham really haven't turned up for this game, and look at the space that Mansfield are creating for themselves, and Gillingham just can't contain it at the moment. It's still 2-0 to Mansfield, and it's not looking upwards, unfortunately, for the Gills. McDonald with the call on the right-hand side. Can Gills nick one just for the go to half-time. It's gone to back post, and it's gone towards the goal, and it's a shot on target, actually, and it's another good effort by Hawkins. But I think in the end of the day, very easily gathered by Scott Flynn as a goalkeeper for Mansfield. It's a lovely ball in from McDonald. He's been doing that, the last sort of few weeks, last month, and it's been very deadly because Nichols has usually been on the end of it. This time it was Hawkins. It's a very hard header. I don't think you can get any more power on that. If it goes either side of the corner, it might go in, but right down the goalkeeper's throat, easily gatherable, and it looks like it's going to end this half 2-0 to Mansfield. And that is half-time. So at half-time, it's Mansfield Town 2, Gillingham 0. And I have to say, Mansfield Town are deserving of their lead. They've played really well, and it's a bit of a crash down to earth for Gillingham at the moment, and we really have to have a change at half-time. I suspect that what will probably happen is that we'll probably put the same squad out for 5 or 10 minutes and then make a change or two. But it does look like being overrun in midfield, but you could argue as well. I just don't think a lot of the players, the key players, are really up for it at the moment. I think it just hasn't quite worked, and I don't think we're not looking that great going forward. And at the back, I have to say, you could argue that, it was a very soft penalty, but again, we're allowing Mansfield to go into those positions to create those penalties, opportunities, and those movements forward. So for me, it's unfortunate that's given us a penalty, but they are 2-0 up. They had another goal as well, and one of the things that Mansfield are doing extremely well at the moment is that they're overrunning the attack force. So they go in, they do one attack, and then it goes out, and they recycle it again, and they recycle it again, and it erodes Gillingham's defence over and over again, and we're not doing that. If we start doing that to the Mansfield defence in the second half, we might have a sniff, but at the moment it's not looking likely. That's pretty much my assessment of the game. It's 2-0 Mansfield. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it gets a bit better for the second half. So we're underway for the second half. I mean, there have been times this season where Mansfield have gone in 2-0 up, I think, or at least been 2-0 up and lost or not won the game. So hopefully that's another one for us today, and we can get forward and create something. We haven't really done that. We've been a little bit overrun in midfield, but let's see how it goes. So man's got a corner on this left-hand side. It's going to be an outswinger, and Gills going to get ahead, and it's headed away. It's headed towards goal, and that's an absolutely worldy of a save from Morris. If that goes in the back of the net, that is 3-0 Mansfield and 3 points to Mansfield. Morris again keeping Gills in this game, albeit being 2-0 down. A fantastic save from Morris. It's a really nice delivery in, and it's a really nice header as well. That's not taking anything away from the Mansfield striker. And it's actually the penalty scorer who actually managed to get his head on that, and it's a fantastic save from the 38-year-old as the ball comes in again from the corner and then is cleared away by Gillingham. Still 2-0 Mansfield. Gills coming for the ball over the top from Williams. Can we get on target? This could be dangerous. Nichols with the ball, and it's cleared off the line. It's the best chance that Gills have had, but there is an offside for Nichols. But again, Gills have just made a triple sub. I think Alexander's come on, O'Brien and Lapsley, and already these are the kind of attacks that we're suddenly creating. So this might be the spark that Gillingham need moving forward. It's a bit unlucky, but it's a good clear off the line from the Mansfield defender. He didn't need to know that. He didn't know that Nichols was offside. Still 2-0 Mansfield, but a bit of spark now for Gills. Gills got the ball on the right-hand side now in O'Brien. He's to create something here. He's in a little bit of a corner. He's got support there in Dieng, who puts the ball into the box. Can Hawkins get up ahead of it? It's gone out, unfortunately, and Mansfield have kind of cleared their lines. Can Gills reignite the pressure? as it goes again to McKenzie, who's going to put the ball into the box. We need to create something here. It's gone to Hawkins. It's now going to go to Dieng. Can he keep the attack alive? Gills do so. It's gone to Alexander into the box and headed away by Mansfield. Gills can't get anything behind it at the moment, but the pressure from Gills is much better now as we go again. Unfortunately, well, it has fallen out to Williams. He's got the ball to O'Brien on the right-hand side. He's got Dieng in support. He needs to give it to him. It goes across the box. Can we get it on target? Much better work from Gills and a fantastic save by Scott Flinders, sorry. And I have to say, that is the first save he's really had to make all game. And it's a much better bit of work from Gills. It's what we've been used to seeing the last few games. And unfortunately, Lapsey did get his head on the ball right at the goalkeeper, but it is a decent save. And the day he managed to get it over the bar. Much better from Gillingham as they have a corner on the right-hand side. So Gills coming forward now on this left-hand side. They've got a chance. It goes to the back post, and Gills just couldn't quite get the shot on target. It is still there, the attacker. Williams got the ball. It's a shot and another decent save by the goalkeeper. Gillingham doing pretty well to try and put a bit of pressure now on Mansfield the last sort of 10-15 minutes of this game. And if it falls for us, we might be able to get one back. And that's all we need, a little bit of impetus to try and get back into the game. It just hasn't fallen very well for Gills at the moment, but we are trying. This attack here, it was a good bit of defensive work by Mansfield to get it away. Williams got the ball down very confidently. Good shot by McKenzie, just well read by the goalkeeper. And still 2-0 Mansfield. Oh, there's been a mistake at the back for Gillingham. This could be the third. Oh, Mansfield should have scored that. Really poor defensive work by the Gills, which kind of sums up our day, actually. Hasn't fallen for us, and it could have easily been 3-0 to Mansfield. As I say that, they are coming forward now, and it could be 3-0, as they're probably going to shoot or go for the corner flag, probably try and get the attack. But it's died a little bit, this attack, as they go down the right-hand side. But Gillingham have, in fact, the last sort of 5 minutes, been really poor, and that kind of sums up the performance of the day. We've had a 10-minute flurry, but that's not good enough for Gills. And yeah, Mansfield a better team in this. It's 2-0 Mansfield, and that's how it's probably going to end. And that is full time. So it ended Mansfield Town 2, Gillingham 0. There was a bit of a spark in the second half, about 20 minutes to go, and Lapsley had a header on goal that was well saved by Scott Flinders, I think it is, in goal. But just from that, really, there was really nothing more. And unfortunately, Mansfield did a solid job of keeping us at bay, and we didn't really show much impetus going forward, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. Bad day at the office, and it's not often we can say that. At the start of the season, all the way through, it's just been that all the time. But this time we can kind of go, we've been onto the back of 3 wins and a draw. Just a bad day at the office away from home. It happens every now and again. So that's just the way it was. And Mansfield definitely deserving of their win, and they would feel they should have scored a couple more goals, and I'd agree with them. They probably should have done. But good luck to them for the rest of the season and their playoff push. They definitely did play a lot better than us today, and I suspect they'll be in there and thereabouts at some point at the end of the season. Yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. If you want to get in contact, you can do via WhatsApp. The link is in the description. And if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so through Buy Me a Coffee. The link to that is also in the description. Thank you very much if you could consider to do so. Yeah, on to the next one Tuesday night against Grimsby Town. And as ever, Law Skates Gills.